Hey everyone. It's been a while since our last dev vlog, and we're excited to show you what the team has been working on over the last few months. But first, we would like to thank our backers who made it all possible. Now, let's take a look at what progress we've made since the Kickstarter demo and talk about the future plans for Project Wraith, starting with a preview of a few maps. Roll the clip!
Hey, I'm Nick, Creative Director with Grassrootz Studios. In recent months, we've made great progress, and last month moved to a new testing phase ahead of our closed PvP testing, which is planned for the end of the summer. The clip you've just seen showcases some of the locations we are working on, with some unannounced maps being in early production stages. When we started working on Project Wraith, our goal has always been to deliver fast-paced, back-to-basics FPS gameplay, wrapped in a gritty, realistic code, while trying to balance visual fidelity and performance. Stable 60 FPS is our performance baseline, even on older rigs. For those that need a bit of a boost, NVIDIA DLSS and AMD Fidelity effects will be available on release. During our Kickstarter campaign, we've reached a stretch goal of £40,000, which, as we promised, allowed us to continue working on Project Wraith and focus on core systems, visual fidelity, and gameplay improvements. On behalf of myself and the team, I'm proud to say that we've delivered on this promise and are reaching way beyond that. Since the Kickstarter demo, every single part of the game has been reworked, from weapons, characters, sound design, animations. I couldn't list it all if I tried. Now, before my voice gets too boring, and before we get into more details about the game modes and features, let's take a look at some of the weapons that will be available to you. We expect that number to be at about 60 on release. Hope you enjoyed that. Now, let's set some expectations. We've seen some comparisons drawn to other games recently in regards to Project Wraith, so we think it's important to talk about what the game aims to be. Project Wraith is a fast-paced, back-to-basics FPS shooter. It is a game that focuses on authentic, fluid, easy to learn but hard to master gameplay, without predatory microtransactions. It is not a survival or extraction shooter. Neither it is an open-world looter shooter. We know what we are good at, and we know our limits. We never aim to add features just because that other game has them. We would like Project Wraith to be a fresh alternative to those games, on a smaller scale, with more fluid in-and-out gameplay. It is the game we would like to play. It is the game we realized we need as we grew older and the time to enjoy games became more scarce. It is not a running simulator. Now, let's briefly talk about customization and loadouts. We've removed the old 4-class loadout system and are working on a new preset system. You will be able to create an unlimited number of presets of any class using your unlocked gear and weapons, and you'll be able to favorite these for quick access. Besides custom presets, you will also be able to access special presets by leveling up, taking part in events, completing tasks, and via other means. You will be able to customize your character's gear, clothing, camouflage, as well as things like patches, hand emotes, and more. Considering the size of the team, we've had to come to terms with reality and introduce some changes to the weapon customization system. Regular weapons offer basic customization based on the weapon limitations, which may include sights, gadgets, magazines, gun-touch sights, muzzle device, and skin or camo paint. Some weapon parts, such as optics, may be limited to specific classes. On completion of a specific weapon tree, you will unlock a special weapon that will let you customize more in depth, things like stocks, handguards, pistol grip, and more. Let's talk a bit about gameplay now. Project Wraith will include 2 ways to experience it: regular mode and hardcore, as we internally call it, simulation mode. Regular is more forgiving, more arcadey. Medics will be able to revive you, your health and stamina will regenerate, your HUD will be there for you, and it will be easier to identify teammates. It is just got home from work and want to have a bit of fun offering. Our main offering, however, is the hardcore mode, much less forgiving. Incoming damage is increased, your class choices matter more, and health and stamina regeneration is limited. You may require stimulants to replenish your stamina or health. Your heads-up display is no longer there. All main actions and checks are performed physically by your character. You will have to rely on visual identification, comms, and teamwork to identify hostile players, as there are no second chances. Playing on servers with hardcore mode increases your gameplay rewards and XP. Although we are planning a separate devlog on this topic, Project Wraith will include multiple game modes, including compound defense, hostage defense, capture the flag, team deathmatch, free-for-all, fight club, domination, search and destroy, and gun game. More on these in the future. There are some interesting features that we are working on to make the gameplay more interesting, regardless of the game mode. An example of this would be an EMP mode, that can be triggered by gameplay actions during some game modes. EMP mode will force players to equip a gas mask, decrease visibility, disable gadgets, and for a limited time enable hardcore mode. Next on the list is a limited use UAV drone, found in specific locations, or obtained as a one-time use reward for capturing locations. That's all we have for you today in this introductory devlog. We would like to thank all of you for your feedback in recent weeks and months, as we've been showcasing more and more footage. We hear you loud and clear, and are working hard on improving movement transitions and sprint, and are introducing changes to recoil and visual recoil. Once again, I want to thank all of our backers and community members for their support. We'd also like to remind you that by joining our Discord, you can submit some of your art as community patch, and it might make it to the game. Special appreciation goes to Edward, who's absolutely killing it with his submissions. Thank you all for your time. In the near future, we are planning to release more in-depth devlogs, focusing on specific features, so stay tuned for those.